What is the most important skill for scaling up? Hi, I'm Brian Pombo. Welcome back to Brian J. Pombo Live. Today we're coming to you live from Grants Pass, Oregon. That's right. I've survived all the crazy plane flights and wild weather, the dry, extremely dry weather of Las Vegas. My lips are still recovering. If you're used to living in a little bit more humid place, going to an extremely dry place in the desert like Las Vegas, you'll notice it. One way or the other, you'll notice it. My most noticeable feature is my lips when it comes to handling really arid weather. So, but I'm back. And today we're going to be talking about scaling up. But first, I just wanted to give a quick plug to dreambizchat.com at dreambizchat. If you are a business owner or an executive in the self-reliance field, meaning that you have products and services that help people to become more self-reliant, go check out dreambizchat.com. There's nothing being sold there. It's nothing more than a video and an application. If you like the video and you think it applies to you, fill out the application and we'll see if we can get together and chat. dreambizchat.com. The link is in the description. Now, we are talking about scaling up. And this comes from a conversation that I had this weekend. I'm sorry for the shaky camera work. I don't have my tripod with me, so bear with me. A conversation I had this weekend with a very successful business owner, has owned multiple businesses in multiple fields. And let's call him Ray. His name's not Ray, but we'll say it is for the sake of this conversation. So I was talking with Ray as he was discussing some of the situations that he's been dealing with lately. Very crazy, outrageous situations. And even though he's been very successful, makes a lot of money, has a lot of money, there are always going to be situations that you have no control over. And it doesn't matter what the business is, and this was a point that he was making. It doesn't matter what business you run, what business you own. Or even, I mean, for the sake of conversation, if you're running an organization, anything of that sort, the same thing's true. You're always going to have the ups and the downs and the crazy things that are completely unpredictable that come about and come along in your path. He said the difference between those that make it and don't make it are whether they're thrown off emotionally by it, whether they let these things shake them. You eventually have to get to the point where you're not shaken by these things. And this comes back to one of the main pillars that I bring up on a regular basis, which is being reality based. Reality grounded, I should say, is the term I usually use for it. It's reality grounded, and the whole idea behind that is to not be emotionally grounded, but reality grounded, to where you see things for what they are and not what your emotions are telling you that they are, when you get caught up with things. And he said that is really the key. And if you look at his life and what he's been doing over the past, 10, 20 years, it's been a progression of taking what he's already known and scaling up and moving up on top of what he's already done. So currently he owns some automotive dealerships and has been pretty successful at this particular style. And they're scaling up. They're going to be opening more, going to be doing more with that field. You can't do that if you can't deal the daily, nearly daily chaos that comes about with owning a business. If you don't have the ability to outsource that to people who are grounded, and if you're not grounded yourself, you just won't survive. You'll get thrown off. You'll drive yourself a little bit crazy, probably drive yourself into sickness because you can't handle the stress and the unpredictability that comes with dealing with other people in situations that can't possibly be predicted. Good example of this, I like to think of the traditional farmer and all the things. Anyone that's ever been in farming long term, they tend to get a certain behavior, a certain attitude about things because there's so many things that can go wrong just having to do with the weather itself. And this doesn't matter whether you're farming soybeans or whether you're a rancher with cattle. Weather will always happen to the farmer, and so they're always dealing with it, and it's completely unpredictable. I mean, it's predictable somewhat to the week and the season and so forth. Beyond that, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know which crops are going to do well and which crops aren't. You just have to be able to ride the wave. You got to think about this in terms of your business, where you've fallen off the horse, where you haven't been able to make it, where you haven't been able to scale up to the level you're thinking of. Is it because you're trying to handle things that you shouldn't be handling, that should be outsourced? Is it because that you are trying to handle the things that are causing emotional instability for you? Is it because you're putting people in charge that are emotionally unstable? All these things are things that I've seen over and over again, and my friend Ray agrees, and I was so happy to hear him say that without any prompting whatsoever, because it's definitely something that I agree with. Your emotional stability will allow you to scale up properly because you will expect the unexpected and not be thrown off and not label it as positive or negative right off the bat, because it all leads to the same place if you're able to ride the wave. So hopefully that's a little helpful for you, a little bit interesting to talk about. If you'd like to talk to me a little further, go to brianjpombo.com and click on the link that most applies to you. If you, as I said, if you're in the self-reliance field, go to dreambizchat.com. Tomorrow, I told you today we were going to be talking about the next podcast episode, but tomorrow we're going to be talking about the next podcast episode because some really interesting stuff transpired on the last interview, and I'd love to tell you about it. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and let the magic happen.